everyone, Tori here with today's December daily video. Today I thought it would be fun to show you some fun ways to incorporate memorabilia or cards or other things like that. Before I do, I want to say welcome to my December daily video. And if you didn't know, every day during the month of December I'm posting a new December daily inspiration video. So if you haven't seen the other ones, go back and check my channel to find the other December daily videos from the rest of the month. And make sure you're subscribing. You can hit the subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss any of them. So last year, if you've seen my last year album, I included this. And it was like a filing folder, filing tab, where I put some... that has my address on it, so I'm just going to be careful not to show that. Some cards that I received last year. And I really wanted to include these cards because they meant a lot to me. They were from the girls that I sponsor in the African Children's Choir. And I just included them in this cute little file folder. That way I could always read them. And I just love the way this looks in my album. So I wanted to do this again. And I thought this year I'd show you how to make it so that you guys would have some inspiration too. And it's super easy. You can decorate the outside, you can decorate the back with photos and journaling. You can do anything you like to decorate it. So this is the one I did last year just to give you some inspiration. And I'm going to make two with you today just to show you some different ways of doing it. And hopefully this is something that maybe you might want to include in your December daily album. So here are some cards that I've already received. These are my cards this year from my sponsor kids, which they're super sweet, and so I definitely want to include those. This is a card that I got from Jen, whose YouTube channel is Oh Yeah, It's Jen. I had purchased a junk journal from her. And this is a card that I received from Lynn, who was my Secret Santa on the Studio Calico Secret Santa exchange. So I just want to include all those cards because they have a little special meaning, but I need some way to stick them in my album. So I think one of these really cute file folders is the perfect solution. So I'm just going to stick those things over there. So what you need for this project is you're going to want to grab a piece of paper. Now last year I grabbed one piece of paper and also a piece of cardstock, but that made it a little thicker. So you could do that and you could glue the two papers together. Alternatively, you could grab one piece of paper, like this one, which has a design on both sides. That way, you don't have to double it up. You can just use one piece of paper. So this is what I'm going to use for today. And I love this paper. This side is my favorite. I love the snowflakes. I think they're so pretty. But they're also really busy. So I wanted to maybe like pair them with like a less busy pattern, and thankfully the design that's on the other side is actually a little calmer. So I don't think I'm actually going to use this piece down here, but I'm going to use this this calmer color. And if you're wondering, this piece of paper comes from Simple Stories, Cozy Christmas, Oh Joy, and it's from last year, so I don't know if it's still available, but it is super cute, isn't it? So the first thing you want to do is you want to cut your paper so that it is the right height. And the way that you'll know what the right height is last year I just made this the same size as the album, or as the page protectors. So the file folder turns out to be about 5 1/4 by 8, and my album is 6 by 8. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my paper. Oops, I'll just pull that paper clip off for now, so that it's the right height, and the height that I want is 8. So I'm going to cut the paper along so it's 8 inches. And I have my handy dandy trimmer here to help. I'm going to start by cutting off the branding strip. And again, if you have paper that's only single-sided, just glue two papers together so that you get a design on both sides. So let's see. 8. And you want it to be 8 inches so that when you put it in your album, it's the right height. So now it's the right height, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over to make the file folder part. So what you want to do is at this point, you want to decide which design you want to be on the outside and which design you want on the inside. So I could use the brown on the outside like this and just have that little pop of cream in there, which I really do like that, and part of me really wants to do that, but I also know that it's sort of busy. So I think I'm going to switch this around and have it so just a little bit of the brown peeks out, which I really like that. So now that you have the right height, you want to figure out and you want to be able to get the right width. So if you want your file folder to be the exact same width as your page protectors, what you're going to do is you're just going to fold it along there. I actually like it to be a little smaller, so I'm not that worried about that. But I'm going to use my Fiskars cutter to get the right width, and I think I'm going to go for about 5.5. So let's go there. And I'm not going to cut it, but I'm going to use my grid mat here to just get the line in the right place. I knew I had a bone folder around here somewhere. So I'm going for 5.5, and I'm just going to use the bone folder, lining it up in my cutter and using the bone folder to crease the line. That just helps me so that when I fold it, I know that it's going to be at the right width. So right now you have the folder. Now I've made the folder a little wider this time, but that's okay. You can make it shorter, you can make it wider, whatever your fancy is. And then when it goes in here and gets punched, it'll be slightly smaller, but that's okay. Now one of the things I'm noticing is that the pattern doesn't go all the way to the edge, and I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just cut off like 1/4 of an inch here, just to help me get it so that the pattern actually goes off the edges. There we go. And because of that, I actually want to make this side a little bit smaller, so I'm going to cut off a little bit, probably 1/2 inch here, and then I'll make the tabby part. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so in order to make the tab so it looks like a file folder like this, you're going to want to put your paper down on your cutting board. Hopefully you guys can see that. Here, I'll move it up here. And you probably want your filing tab to be about 1/2 inch. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut along the cutting board up to the part where you want the tab to be. So I know I want the tab to be at the top, and I think I want the tab to be about 3 inches wide. So I'm going to bring my trimmer up to this line right here. I just put the bone folder there so you guys could see it. And if you have this Fiskars one, the way that you'll know that you've reached that mark is on the side of the trimmer, there are 2 little points. And when you reach that, that's how you'll know that you've made it to that place. So, if I move this out of the way, you'll be able to see that I've cut the paper only to there. Okay? So I haven't cut it all the way. Now, using your scissors, you'll want to cut in to the line of where that is. Just like that. So I have a little filing tab. Now last year what I did was I rounded the corners, and I feel like it gives it a really finished edge. So I'm going to do that again. Just want to grab your corner rounder, whichever one you have. If you don't have a corner rounder, you could just trim around it yourself, or you could leave it. Like, I actually think it looks just fine like this. But if you wanted to, you could use your corner rounder. I'm going to use the half side. I'm going to do these two outer edges. Those ones there. And I'm also going to do these edges here. So this edge, and this edge. Now, that one I'll have to come back to. Now this edge is a little harder to do because if you try to do it with the paper trimmer, it's not actually going to work, or with your corner chomper. So what you can do is grab some scissors and just round the edge yourself. I like to do that just because I think it gives it a finished look, but totally not necessary if you don't want to. Okay, there we go. So now I have my filing tab, and my cards will be able to go just slot right in there. You can either put them in like that or up and down like this. Okay, so perfect. So what you want to do in order to make it so that it's sealed is you're going to just put a little tiny piece of score tape along the edges, this edge and this edge. So I have this score tape here. I'm just going to put a strip of this down here. Now it's actually a little wide, so I'm going to cut the score tape in half. If you had thinner score tape, you wouldn't have to do this, but because my score tape is just, I think it's about 1/2 inch wide, I just don't want it to be so thick that I don't have room for my cards. And you just want to butt it right up against the edge. And if you do it on the short edge, you'll know that you have the right width or the right length. Let's put a little bit extra there. Okay, and then you're just going to fold it down, make sure it's sealed, and there you go. You've got a cute little folder where you can perfectly stick your items in. If I knew where my hole punch was. Here it is. Now you can use your hole punch to punch the holes on the side. And the way that I found easiest for me is to grab a page protector from the album, line it up on the folder, hold it there, and then use the hole punch to punch the holes. Perfect. Now my little folder is all ready to go in my album. So I will decorate this, but right now I wanted to show you another way that you can make a folder too, or like the same folder, but maybe give you a different idea if you didn't want to use cardstock or pattern paper. What you could do is you could use vellum, and vellum would look so pretty. It's a little see-through, so you'd be able to see the cards underneath, but it gives it a really festive kind of look. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to use the vellum to make the file. So again, you want to cut the paper or the vellum to the right width. And if you're wondering, this vellum actually comes from crepe paper, I believe. So I need my vellum to be 8 inches wide. And I want to score the vellum at 5.5. It's a little harder to fold vellum, so it might not work perfectly. It might break a little bit, so if it breaks a little bit, not to worry, we can cover it with some washi tape. Everything is fixable. So I've scored it to help me know where to fold it. There we go. So now I have the file folder folded in half just like that. And at this point, you're going to do the part that creates the tab. So lining the short edge up on your mat, you can make your tab as wide or as thin as you want. This time I think I'll go with like 3/4. Oops, I need this down here. And I'm going to make the tab come to this line here. So I line it up just like so. And then using my scissors, I'll just cut into the line that I had cut. Just like so. Then I'm going to round the edges. These are so easy to make. You can make like a ton of them all at once. And you know, I actually think it would be really cute to make a December daily, which was just made up of a bunch of these folders. And every day you like stuck a photo and journaling or memorabilia in there. That would be so much fun. You just have to make 25 of them. Okay, there we go. I've rounded all the edges so it's good to go. Folded it, and now all you need to do is add the score tape. And if you find that your crease is not staying down, you can use a bone folder to just reinforce it. So using a little bit of score tape, I'm just going to put some score tape here and here just to keep it up, shut. If you have special vellum adhesive, you may want to use that so that it doesn't show through, because score tape does show up on vellum, so you will be able to see it. But that doesn't bother me, but if it bothered you, you could use some special vellum adhesive. And you can find that online, or maybe your local scrapbook store has it. There we go. And then I'm just going to make sure that's really well sealed. And I actually don't think you can see it that much, just if you're looking really closely. And there you go. The folder's done. We just need to punch our holes. So again, using a page protector from the album and a 1-hole punch, I'm just going to line that up so it's in the middle. Hold it still and then punch the holes. Done. And in a matter of like 15 minutes, I made 2 folders that are ready to go in my album. Now you can decorate them to your heart's delight. So this one's one idea. I used a doily, the number 4, because it was on the 4th day of December. I used some buttons and some acetates, a roller date stamp to just stamp the date right there on the label. I used some twine, or what do you call this? Like mesh? I don't know. It's not twine, it's mesh. And then some ribbon. And I just love the way this turns out, and it makes me super happy to know that those letters are right there, easy to find, and I can pull them out and read them. On the back, I had done a photo, some journaling, and some other embellishments, and a paper clip to just hold it in. So for these ones, I thought it might be fun to decorate them too. Just trying to decide which one I want to use for the Happy Mail. The other one I'm going to use for something else. So I could use this one. Or this one. I really love the vellum. Okay, I'm going to use the vellum one. And I have these giant stickers. I don't know what this is from, but I thought it might be fun to stick this down and on it write Happy Mail. They look like they're from like crepe paper or something, but I don't have a label on them. Sorry guys. And we'll put Happy Mail right there. Let's see what letter stickers I have. These gold ones would be perfect. H-A. And of course, I have no P's. I have B's. I'm going to use these because I think they'll look really cute on here. And I will MacGyver some of my letters. And in order to get it in the right place, I'm going to use my ruler because I want the letters to be centered. And this is a really fun trick. If you want your letters to be straight and centered, put them on a ruler before you stick them down. And you can put them on the ruler, get them where you want them, and then stick them down, and you will be more likely to get them where you want them. Okay, so now that I have all the letters for Happy Mail on the ruler, I can make sure I get them right in the center, and then I can push them down. This P is a little bit off, but that's okay. And then I can remove the ruler, well, supposedly, making sure that they're all down where they want to be. And if any get off, you can just put them back and it's not a big deal. Perfect, just like so. I feel like there needs to be a little something underneath this. Could use those gold hearts. I could use something from here. I think it might be fun to use one of these December daily stickers from last year that looks sort of like a stamp. Where could I put it? I like the idea right there. Well, maybe I'll put it over here so it looks like mail. Because normally you'd put the stamp over there. Yeah. And then underneath it, I think I'll put one of these gold hearts from Freckled Fawn. Or I could just maybe one of these big ones. Actually, yeah, I could just put that over there with the stamp. Still feel like it needs something underneath. See, I could use some of this washi tape. This washi tape's super fun. It's like little hearts. That's sort of fun. I could just put a strip of it underneath where it says Happy Mail. Okay, that's the plan. This washi tape, by the way, if you are wondering, comes from Freckled Fawn. I had to get it when I saw gold hearts washi tape. I was like, yes, please. Send that to me right away. Perfect. I think that's good for me. Now my cards can perfectly fit in there. Just like so. And it's all ready to go. Okay, so you could also decorate the other one if you wanted. I think I'm going to wait to decorate it because I want to see what that day's looks like. But until then, I'll leave it blank, but then you could decorate it later. Anyways, I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed today's December Daily video, and I hope that you will check back tomorrow for another December Daily Inspiration video. And if you haven't checked out the ones from the days previous, go back on my channel and check them out. And make sure you're subscribed so you'll be notified when tomorrow's video goes up. See you guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.